Hello, good morning. Welcome to Soulprint Intuitive Tarot for January 8th. Okay, just a couple of quick things. I'm going to be monitoring events over the course of the weekend. If anything happens that I feel I need to do a reading on or get more insight into, I will be recording that and putting it out. So you might just want to keep an eye open over the weekend. And this Sunday for the Positive Energy Circle, we are going to do a positive energy circle for healing, for Washington, for the Capitol, for the White House, to try to purify and clear some of the anger and rage and, frankly, insanity. So if you're interested in that, that'll be released on Sunday morning, my time here in Alberta, so Mountain Standard Time. All right, so a couple things I want to take a look at today. So just before I pressed record, Trump has officially announced that he will not be attending the inauguration. Well, you know what? This is the thing, right? You guys all knew that. I'm sure many other intuitives told you that months ago. We knew he wasn't going to be there, but it's now official. Okay, so just in case you missed that, that's the story for right now. Okay, so the two things I want to take a look at this morning, and I may get all the information in one reading. I'll see what comes through. I want to take a look at exactly who or what was complicit in what went on at the Capitol. I really want to see if some of the people in positions of authority were encouraged to keep security lax. So I want to take a look at that. I also want to see if Trump is going to sort of, try to ditch the White House. And of course, I want to take a look at the whole 25th Amendment versus impeachment. Okay, so I'm going to start with my pendulum. So here we go. Let's get some basic questions out of the way, shall we? Okay, so pendulum, let me know when you're ready to start talking. Okay, so for those of you who maybe are new to the channel, back and forth means the pendulum is ready to talk. In a circle is no, and up and down is back and forth. Here we go. Is Donald Trump even going to be in Washington on January 20th? No. Is he likely to leave the office on or before the 18th or 19th of January? Actually, I'm hearing intuitively that he will be gone the Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, right? So he's going to leave, they're saying, somewhere around Friday, and he's not going to be around. So anything that he's going to attempt to do, if he has still not been removed from office, he'll do before. I'm talking about, pardoning his kids and stuff like that. Is Donald Trump actually really, really going to try to issue a self-pardon to himself? Yeah, he is. Well, just bless, eh? Is that going to be challenged in court? Yeah. And is he going to discover that no man is above the law and his self-pardon doesn't hold water? Yeah. So you know what? Let him do it, because he's going to end up in court. And this is the thing. People are saying, like, this is how the man doesn't think. First of all, if he pardons himself, he has no Fifth Amendment right. When he pardons himself, and I didn't realize this, but when a pardon is issued, you have to list the crimes that you are being pardoned for. So that's going to be really interesting. That in-house lawyer, the White House lawyer, is talking again about resigning from the White House. Is he actually going to do that? Yeah, so even he is abandoning Trump. Even he is. Is Mike Pence going to buckle under the pressure and try to invoke the 25th Amendment. Is he going to cave? Okay, so I'm getting a yes, even though the officers are saying he's not interested, he's resisting. Pendulum says, yeah, he very well may cave. Is, in spite of that, or is the impeachment going to go forward? Yes. Okay, and again, part of the reason that you want to get the impeachment done and get him convicted is, even if they do it after he leaves office, even if it kind of wraps up after that, what that does is it will prevent him from being able to return to any elected position ever again in his life. Just a couple. Does Ted Cruz now have a political future? He does not. What is it, Josh Hawley? Does he have a political future? No, and if I've gotten the name right, Pendulum knows who I'm talking about because I'm holding a picture of him in my head. Did Elaine Chao and DeVos, did they resign early simply so that they would be not in a position to have to vote with regards to the 25th Amendment? Was that a significant part of their motivation for resigning? Yeah, you bet it was, right? Because if they've resigned, then they can't vote in terms of the 25th Amendment, and that way they don't have to sort of, put themselves on the line, right? Okay. Are the FBI sort of farther ahead in terms of, and any other sort of alphabet law agency, are they farther ahead in terms of identifying some of the people in the mob than we realize or than we know? Yeah. Okay. Is Trump going to actually end up facing criminal charges for his role in that entire situation? Yeah, he is. It'll be interesting. I wonder is anybody from Fox News going to be sort of dragged into this or dragged into the mud because of their nonsense? Okay, so that's good to know. All right. All right. Well, let's see what we can find out, shall we? Here we go. This little gaffer thinks that he should be making daily appearances, don't ya? He just likes the cords. Don't ya? Get down. There you go. And please stop attacking my mic cord. Nova. Putting it in your mouth and trying to tell me you're protecting it is just not the thing, okay? Oh, by the way, for those of you who are interested in why I almost always say, I have a question. So the reason for that, it's sort of a quiet nod to a girlfriend of mine who, in the initial beginning stages of the whole Trump presidency, she knew I was paying very close attention to what was going on. And she would phone me and she would little boy, stop that. I'm going to have to put you in a room somewhere. Get down. She would phone me and she would start the phone call with, I have a question, usually followed by, what the hell is going on down there? So that's sort of where that came from. But I got a phone call from her last night, and it started with, I have a question. So for her and all the rest of you, sometimes next week, I am going to actually be doing a reading and seeing if I can do a deep dive on Trump's children, particularly the ones that are sort of on the line here, and just see exactly what is going on with them behind the scenes. I think that's going to be a really, really interesting read. So that's on the agenda for next week. All right, so I have a question. Come on down. Oh my goodness. You can tell Atticus is, or Nova is like 14 weeks old because he's just nothing but trouble. Hey? You can't climb on my table and you can't climb on the computer. Okay. Those complicit with Trump, those complicit with Trump. Oh, wow. Stop. Get down. Go on. Go have a nap. Oh, Lord. Okay. So, the short answer is yeah. And frankly, more people than we realize. And it feels as if at some point they really are going to be exposed. Got the sun sitting here. So this is sort of what was going on. Some people were complicit because they thought it wasn't, they were complicit because they were ambitious. Okay, so that's like the 10 Cruzes of the world. That's like those 100 and however many House Republicans who felt that this would be beneficial to their career. And that is going to so blow up in their face. It's not even going to be funny to watch. It's just it is a tragedy what happens when you hand over your brain to a cult leader. Okay? There were people in security, people who were supposed to be guarding, and it feels as if those a little higher up, those who had actually the authority, who also had a role to play. In some ways, it feels as if, because this is one of the things that didn't make sense that people have been talking about, is the fact that the Capitol has been closed to tourists for months now because of COVID. But all of the entrance doors around the Capitol were left unguarded. They were left open. They weren't even locked. And that was how come people were literally able to just stream in. And somebody created that environment. And yes, there have been people who have resigned over this, but there's actually going to be more that comes out in terms of those people who were involved. And honestly, it feels as if it was sort of like they wanted recognition from Trump, because you see, Trump had let it be known that he was going to march to the Capitol with the protesters. Well, they're not protesters, they're rioters. But of course he didn't. He ran away to the security of the White House. And if you noticed, if you looked at some of the video of what happened on the Hill, is these people were like wandering around and trashing the place. They actually were wandering around. It was as if they didn't quite know what to do. I mean, they were in that rotunda and people are walking backwards and forwards and side to side, and they looked in some ways lost. It was as if they had this great mission, but once they breached, they didn't know what to do with themselves because, of course, their Lord and Master wasn't there to tell them what to do. And of course, they didn't know without being told. And so part of, and there were some people who really didn't want to play a part in this. I'm talking now about security people, etc. But they took the chance. They didn't want to hear it because there were offers that were made to help reinforce because of the day. Everybody knew what was going to happen, maybe not to the extreme, but everybody knew there was going to be this rally in Washington at the White House. And some just simply chose to say, no, thank you, we don't need the help. We have it under control. When they absolutely didn't have it under control. I mean, those poor Capitol Police didn't have riot gear on. They really didn't have any protection. And apparently they were specifically instructed to not engage or push back with those protesters. And again, protesters is the absolutely wrong word. Unless, I think it was unless they literally were in mortal danger. So they were under direction to not do their job. So there are going to be investigations. There are going to be a lot of answers or questions that need answers. And this little security cabal, for lack of a better word, a lot of that is going to be exposed, and a lot of people are not only going to lose their jobs, but they're going to lose their reputations. And as things cool down, more and more people are going to really honestly be giving their head a shake and asking themselves, what the heck was I thinking that I just willingly went along with this? But you know what? Actions have consequences, and they are going to pay the consequences. So one way or another, the government, the White House, survived the attempt to topple it. It survived the coup. Now, I still think that there's going to be a couple more skirmishes to go, but they're losing some of their breath. And I know there's lots of them, okay? And I know lots of people, now apparently these people are saying the video where he concedes, he didn't concede, he just said he wasn't going to have another term. That video was faked, he was manipulated. And they're saying because he didn't say the words, I lost, I concede, they feel that this movement still has force and power. And I got to tell you, when he vanishes, because he's going to try really hard. See, this is the thing. Everybody thinks, oh, he's going to keep this thing going. He's not. I don't think so, because it feels as if he has lost so much of his power. And let's face it, he got what he wanted out of it. He got all the money, right? Millions and millions of dollars that he raised for those mysterious legal fees to fight the stolen election. That's all in his pocket. He got what he needed. And so just like everybody else, he will throw them under the bus. And that is going to be fascinating to watch, but from a safe distance, because I think there's going to be some real volatility there. But because by the time that kind of thing happens, there's going to be a new administration in force, it really is going to be clamped down. And I don't know if they are or they aren't, but see, look, there's the money card for Trump. When the new administration comes in, some of these organizations like QAnon, are going, and Proud Boys, they're going to be designated as domestic terrorists. And so that's going to take the wind out of their sails. You know, I remember, sorry, I'm just off on a tangent here. I remember the Charlottesville incident. And there was this one guy who was sort of featured in one of the videos, and he was marching, and he was angry, and he was screaming, and he was in a rage. And a few days later, he released a video saying, I've been warned that there is a warrant out for my arrest. The police are apparently on the way to pick me up. He was sobbing. He was bawling. So much for his principles, right? When it comes right down to it, that self-preservation thing kicks in. And all of a sudden, you know, he was faced with the actual reality of what was coming at him. And all that bravado, all that bluster just vanished. So you're going to see some of that, because the thing is these people are literally directionless, okay? Without Trump giving them the messages, without Trump telling them what to do and stoking up their energies and getting them all wound up, they don't know what to do. They are like leaderless. They don't have a path to victory because they don't know what to do next. Apparently, some of these people refer to Trump, and I wish I had held it, but it was something like they refer to Trump as God the leader, or something like that. It's insane. God is, you know, about as close to God as Lucifer is. So I know it feels and it seems really, really scary right now, but I keep feeling that this thing is going to peter out when reality sets in and when charges are being laid and when people are being arrested. And so, and of course, there's going to be that group of them that crawl back under their rocks, and they become the conspiracy theorists. And frankly, they become the really dangerous ones, because once they're behind and under their rocks, it's much harder to know what they're doing and planning. But you have to remember, these people are without depth because they don't think for themselves. They simply parrot what they hear and what they've been told, and they keep themselves in a place where everybody they talk to agrees with them, and everybody who doesn't agree with them is, you know, crazy, and they don't understand, and you know, whatever their story is. And I know a lot of you, frankly, are dealing with those people in terms of friends and family, and it has been a difficult go for you. But they're sort of juvenile, right? Like, they're young, they're the page. They really don't have, by and large, a way to actually figure out how to make this go forward in any cohesive way. And their social media feeds are going to be cut. There's going to be a lot of them that are just knocked right down. Okay, so here's King of Pentacles card for Trump. He's in super defense mode. He's going to try some tricks, but ultimately he's going to leave, and the tricks are going to be connected to him leaving. I actually wouldn't be surprised if he, like I'm saying, I'm kind of getting that Friday before the inauguration. So I guess that literally would be like, I've lost track of my days. I guess not next Friday, but the next one? That doesn't make sense. Next Friday, whenever it is. It feels as if he is going to leave, like sort of abdicate. But he's not going to make a big deal about it. He's just going to sort of vanish. And in fact, it feels like for a bit there, he's actually leaving the government without a leader in charge. I mean, and God knows that he's not a leader and he wasn't in charge, but it feels as if he's just going to sort of go away. It's not like he's going to tell Pence to step in. It's just like he's just going to, you know, go on vacation. So that's going to be really interesting to just sort of watch and see how that unfolds. But trust me, there are enough investigations going on now, and he is going to be monitored from now until 12:01 on January 20th, and probably at 12:05 he's going to start getting served with indictments and subpoenas and charges. So yeah, that's going to be sort of yeah. So as I said yesterday, he continues to lose a tremendous amount of his support. I mean, even those people who frankly were in cahoots with him are stepping away from him. They are distancing themselves. I mean, the fact that that Pat guy, I can't say his last name, which is why I'm not trying to say it, the White House attorney is again talking about resigning. And I actually, like the Pendulum said, he's gonna. All of these people who were sort of trying to constrain him, or some of them even who were egging them on, they are pulling away. There is a switch that has flipped in his brain, and he is so unstable and so unhinged that they're really not prepared anymore, I guess, to put their own lives and their own careers, their own names in jeopardy anymore. Because as it is, they are all going to be painted with a very big brush that says, you are complicit. You simply are complicit in what happened and what went on, and your name is forever marked with that. Okay. Trump actually still thinks that he can get away with this. He actually thinks that the pardon is going to work for him. He just doesn't get it. And so he really feels that he is going to be able to pardon himself and take the money and spin his message so he comes out the victim and just sort of, walk into the evening sunset. It's not going to happen, but that's where he's at, because he still at this point refuses to let go of what he has. And that's why I now energetically feel that he is not going to step down officially and turn the presidency over to Pence, even for a few days, because he believes that he doesn't need Pence to pardon him, because he actually believes he can pardon himself and put himself above the law. So he's not going to let go of anything until the very last moment he has to. And that is literally, 12:01, right? Yeah, he's just trying to fill up that little goodie bag of his with everything he can cram in there. So with self-pardon, he's going to try to pardon his kids. He's going to try to take all the money. And after the fact, there is going to be so much information that comes out, and it's really, really going to get him, honestly, in even hotter water than he is now. And there are some legal eagles, some female legal eagles, who really are going to come after him. And, there's some that we sort of don't know about yet. I mean, everybody knows about Letitia and what is it, Cy Vance, although he's a guy. But there's other ones behind the scenes who are working very, very hard, and they are not going to let up. And when this stuff starts raining down on his head, he's going to need a hard hat to protect himself. There comes Joe. There comes Joe. Okay. So it's absolutely true that Joe Biden has inherited a mess. And I can't help but think back to when Obama, between the election and the inauguration, Obama also inherited one hell of a mess. Maybe it's just the trademark of Republicans is, you know, if they're going to lose the presidency, they're just going to create chaos for the incoming president. But make no mistake, he's going to have the support he needs to help move the country past the harm, the disasters, even to some degree the divisiveness. And he is going to be able to turn it around. But you know what? This is not like a speedboat turning around on you know, the water. This is more like a massive cruise ship turning around on the water, okay? It is a very slow turn, but by and large, it feels, at least right now, that he has so many really powerful, good people in place that at least, even though that turn is going to be slow, it feels very much like it's going to be smooth, okay? That was Nova trying to jump up on the table from the floor. Just in case you're wondering. Okay. So, you know, here we go. Judgment is going to rain down on all kinds of people. People who were complicit, people who thought it was to their advantage, people who thought that there was going to be some benefit to them. They are going to be judged. And frankly, they're going to be judged harshly. Because as the information comes out and more information comes out and more is known, you're going to see a whole bunch of people sort of trying to scatter, you know, trying to suggest that, oh, they you know, they didn't do anything. They were innocent. Some of them are even going to try to say they were duped. But the reality is that there's a price to pay. And frankly, it kind of looks like they're going to pay it. Okay, so let us all just pray for a quiet weekend. Let us pray that everybody is given a bit of a chance to collect their wits and take a deep breath. But as I said, if that doesn't happen, I will be monitoring things. And if there's something that I can add that is helpful, I will get a video out. It may feel like there are important parts of your country that have been shattered. But some of them, frankly, needed to be shattered so that new, better, stronger, clearer laws, directives, understandings could be put into place. This is a process. And stay strong, stay focused, keep your thoughts as positive as you can, because remember, like attracts like. And so if your thoughts are like angry and they're agitated and they're mad, guess what? You're joining your energy with all the Trump people who are angry and mad. That's how it works, okay? It's not like it gets subdivided into, oh, well, you're only mad about this or you're mad about this. Energy is energy, emotion are emotions. So do everything that you can to sort of keep yourself calm, keep yourself hopeful, and keep yourself centered. And you know what? You're going to get through it. You are, I promise. Until next time, take care. Be well. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.